Respectfully Disagree podcast. I was gone for a minute, but I'm back. Real quick, man. I'm gonna try to keep this about 20, 30 minutes max. Um, like I said, it's been a couple of weeks. For a moment, man, I kind of lost that spark. We in that dead period where it really ain't too much to talk about, man. I'm tired of talking about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and all of that. And just regular conversation, regular topics and things like that. Really ain't been too much to talk about. We had a couple of things we was gonna discuss, but you know what I'm saying. Life is lifing. People get busy. Shout out to the few people already on the Instagram live. Um, we had some things in the works, and hopefully it'll still transpire. But I took a couple of weeks off, man, just to kind of see where I really wanted to go with this. And shout out to my cousin Grip. He pulled up at the crib yesterday, and we was just sitting around talking, and he was just talking about grinding and sticking with things in terms of like him with his photography and stuff like that. And it kind of gave me that push I needed to fire this damn mic back up. And it's like, regardless of whether I feel like people are supporting it or not, if you truly doing it for the passion, man, just let the rest take care of itself. Last time I looked, I was at 688 subscribers. So I'm about 12 away from 700. So y'all know the routine, man. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to hit the like, share, subscribe button. Tell a friend and tell a friend. But real quick, man, today's topic. Can Team USA win the gold, bro? I didn't get to watch the game today, but based on the last two games, I see a lot of conversation, social media, people on different podcasts and things like that. And people are really trying to critique and rip this team apart based on exhibition games. Now, granted, I get it. They should be playing the way that they're going to play starting this weekend when the official games roll out. But it's like, why would I put all my eggs in a basket right now and show my hand? So I'm hoping that's what's going on right now. Team USA is just kind of coasting, getting a feel and figuring out what lineups fit best and things like that. But of course, with social media and everybody having a voice now, we're blowing this shit out of proportion, in my opinion. And I'm hearing all this, man, the dream team would have done this and done that. And I think that's the part that pisses me off the most, more than anything, bro. It's like, it's 2024. That shit was in what, 92. The game has changed dramatically. Like, there is no comparison, bro. Like, you talking about comparing fruits and vegetables, in my opinion. It ain't even apples and oranges. Like, if you looked at the state of international basketball back in 92, I legit can't tell you a solid foreigner back in that time. Shout out to E. We had this conversation briefly the other day, and he mentioned Tony Kukoc. And it's like, even if I give you Tony Kukoc, just like, who else during that time period was really a threat to the United States in terms of just talent alone? Where now you fast forward to today, and it's like almost every team got at least one, if not two or more NBA players. And we're not talking about scrub NBA players unless you look at the team that almost beat them the other night, that had Gabriel on it. I feel like that team snuck up and punched Team USA in the mouth. So it ain't too much that you can give them a pass for in terms of that game, in my opinion. Because it's like, bro, y'all was a 30, 40 point, you know what I'm saying, favorite. And for that to come down to a LeBron drive to the basket to win the game type situation, that in its own self, yeah, it's somewhat embarrassing. But for me, it's like, bro, like I'm not putting a lot of stock in that because these are just exhibition games. On top of the fact that KD ain't laced up yet, And no, it shouldn't come down to, well, shit, they need KD to do this and that. KD should be the icing on the cake. I get that. But it's like they not playing against no scrubs, bro. If you look at the level of competition right now and you compare it to 92, what are we talking about? Greek Freak, a superstar in the NBA. He's a leader of a team. Luka, even though they didn't make it, he just come from a finals run. He's a leader of a team. Joker, you look at Canada, team full of fucking NBA players. You look at France, it's like the competition has balanced itself out. And then when you look at the chemistry, a lot of these teams, they've been playing together for years, bro. So you can't you can't just plug in a bunch of random players, which is what the United States has been able to get away with, and think that they're just supposed to go and dominate the rest of the world. Like, to me, that shit matters. And the proof is in how these games are turning out, in my opinion. It's like the United States thinks that we can take a AAU format and then just go roll out the balls and just go hoop. And no, it's gonna be a lot of games. It's gonna come down to a nail biter or closer than expected, simply off of how this team was constructed. In my opinion, I will give the '92 Dream Team kudos in terms of how they built the roster, because you're talking about the best players for their position. You know what I'm saying? You had Magic, you had Stockton, you had Barkley, you had Malone, you had Ewan, uh, David Robinson, you got Drexler, you got Jordan, Pippen, Bird. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a 1-2 punch for every position. So no matter who you substituted in, they made up for who just came out. Whereas now, if you look at this roster, it's like a bunch of random ass scoring guards, small, you know what I'm saying, prototype forwards. It's like, okay, what was the purpose of Derek White? Like I said, I didn't get to watch today's game. I don't know if he played last game. So it's like they're still trying to figure out rotations and things like that. But it's like Holiday, Derek White, Steph. Then you come down with Booker, Ant-Man. Who else is there? Move to your forwards, Bam, Bron, KD, Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid, and it's like, bro, like there's no chemistry whatsoever. And you would think that their individual talents alone, you know what I'm saying, would jail just rolling the balls out and go out on the court. But obviously it ain't working that way. So I'm gonna give them somewhat of a pass, and hopefully once the official games start, you really don't have that struggle. But it's like, they, to me, basketball is in a bad spot right now, man. Because once the old heads retire, who the hell you finna send out there and think that they gonna actually come home with the gold? You know what I'm saying? Really, KD and Bron them shouldn't even be on this team. Steph ain't got no medal, I don't think. Whoever watching the live, correct me if I'm wrong. I think this might be Steph's first run. I don't know. But it's like outside of Bron, KD, um, trying to think. Because Anthony Edwards and them, didn't they lose the bronze game? I believe so. But it's like outside of them, dog, they old heads. And you should be looking at them just to be a veteran presence, in my opinion. But it's like, bro, they looking at LeBron to close the damn game. And I'm like, nah, bro, something is wrong with that picture, bro. Ain't no way you should be asking this man at 40 to take over an Olympic game, dog. Like, that's crazy. And people ain't talking about Steph missing that wide open three the other night that could have sealed the game, bro. That's why I'm saying it's like A lot of these people get on social media and try to bash and critique players, and it's like, come on, bro. Like, you got to look at the whole team. If the Lakers lose to Golden State, bro, they lost to Golden State. That's a solid organization. But you comparing them against LeBron, and it's like, oh, LeBron sucks. It's like, nah, bro, they got the right pieces around them, and it just works. The Olympic games that I've seen, the other teams is picking Steph up full court, dog. They making him work just to get the ball up the court. And everybody just assumed it's like, oh, that's Steph Curry. He's going to be lights out. And it's like, bro, like they not looking like how they look in a regular NBA game. So that alone tells you that the competition level is nowhere near where it's supposed to be in comparison to the rest of the world. Like, there's no way the rest of the world should be playing a more physical game than we get here in the United States. And we talking about people making $200-300 million, and it's fool's gold, because to us it's like, damn, such and such dropped 50, Luka dropped 70, and it's like, shit, for Luka that's easy because he's used to playing how they playing overseas, bro. It's a more physical game, so for him it's like, shit, this ain't nothing. But then you look at Tatum, them, like all of them dudes is struggling, in my opinion, with the physicality of the international game. Yeah, I think just Brian, KD, Davis. Appreciate that, bro. But it's like other teams is picking them up full court. Other teams is showing that they're not afraid to play against them, and I think that's the biggest factor when you compare the '92 Dream Team, bro. It was like when Jordan them rolled into the arena, their opponent was in awe. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hell, they was just as much of a fan. They ain't even caring about going out and trying to compete. So it's like when you look at them highlights, man, it was like little scrimmages compared to, you know what I'm saying, how you look at it now. Like, dog, these teams, like, they in dog fights. So I ain't gonna bash this Olympic team, bro. Bring that physicality back. You damn right they gonna have to, bro. I feel like the league is getting exposed right now, man. Like, these dudes is making too much money. Dudes is doing this load management, sitting out games and shit like that. And it's like, come on, bro. At this point, you done priced out your loyal fans. And you got to sit there and drop all this damn money. And you ain't even watching a real product, so to speak. Like, these dudes ain't competing at the highest level. It's like, shit, the clips that I did see, it was like, bro, Bron having to work for these buckets, bro. Don't get me wrong. Like, Bron is just more physical against who's guarding him so he can get away with, like, the rules for international play almost work in LeBron's favor because they do give them the opportunity to be more physical and push and go around. But it's like, shit, when I'm looking at Steph and them trying to get the ball across half court, bro, they struggling. We so soft, just like the NBA America, period. Shout out to Spears on the live, bro. You right, man. That's what I'm saying. It's like this shit is looking bad, bro. And it's like off topic a little bit. But if you look at this year's draft, and it's like everybody's talking about how weak and how bad the draft was. I was like, bro, the draft been like that the last few years. It's like, bro, outside of Wemby, which was a overseas product, who really stood out? And it's like, bro, it's that AAU shit. That's why I can't stand it, man. Every time you get on social media, all you see is clips of somebody getting their ankles broke or somebody getting dunked on. And these kids think that that's all you got to do with basketball, dog. So when they get out there on the court against some real competition, or they get matched up against some of these foreigners, they get they get abused because it's like the fundamentals is not there. So that's why I'm saying, I'm like, hopefully Team USA been holding back. Hopefully KD's gonna be ready to roll, because ain't no way motherfucker is gonna be, he's gonna be 40. Ain't no way y'all should be looking at him to close when you got a dude that's coming off a championship in Tatum, You had the run that Ant-Man had, and it's like, come on, bro, y'all supposed to be winning y'all individual matchups. Ain't no way when the vets go sit down that y'all ain't supposed to just pick up where they left off. But I ain't even gonna put it on the young players because shit, the vets ain't even setting the tone out the gate. I'm checking the score and it's like shit, they losing at halftime. So ain't nobody coming to work. And then you think you can just turn it on late in the game and it's like shit. It ain't gonna work. You gonna fuck around and lose. Excuse my language. You gonna mess around and lose, bro. But it's like I'm listening to the TV personalities and things like that, your Skip Baylesses and stuff, and it's like, oh, this team's gonna win by a landslide. It's not gonna be close. This is the greatest team ever assembled, and it's like, bruh,
I disagree.
I respectfully disagree simply off of the fact that the original formats were center, power forward, small forward, two guard, point guard, and you pick the best two options available for each position. So even though Charles Barkley may have led the team in scoring, he did his job as a power forward with rebounding and outletting the ball. Jordan did his job on the wings, defending, getting steals, leading out the fast breaks and things like that. Patrick Ewing and them protected the basket. They did their job. Brown would have been perfect for Brown would have been perfect for Team U. It's starting to look that way, bro. But even if they asked him right now, do you think Jaylen Brown would accept the invite, considering the fact that it's like, y'all motherfucker skipped over me on several occasions. It took me having to say something or the rest of the world having to speak out about it. But it's like, until I sit down and see what sole purpose that they have for Derek White, I don't know, bro. Because it's like, shit, you originally thought Holiday and them was gonna be a defensive presence, and Team USA was gonna come and dominate defensively because offense we know it ain't no issue, bro. You got the best shooters in the world, the best drivers, best jumpers. Anthony Davis, an athletic big. Joel Embiid, athletic, step out, shoot jumpers. Like from an individual standpoint, everybody has the ability to dominate. But how are they constructed and putting these lineups together to where they complement each other out on the court and they can go dominate? So it's like until I see what they brought in White for, you right. Jaylen Brown should have been on the phone because he would have bought a defensive presence, and he's got younger, fresher legs. He can penetrate, pull up, like yeah. But then it's making me question should they have put Kyrie? I feel like Kyrie was snubbed, but we all know why. But it's like I think Kyrie, you can hide him. His offensive talent will overshadow his lack of ability to sit in a chair and lock down and defend somebody. But if you look at this last playoff run, Kyrie can play defense when he really wants to. But if you substitute an offensive weapon and if you substitute a defensive weapon and insert Kyrie Irving from an offensive standpoint, now that's a super cheat code. That's why I'm hoping that when Kevin Durant, if he plays, it'll balance everything out. Cause it's like, bro, there ain't no way y'all should be struggling and y'all was a 40-point favorite, bro. That's crazy. But what I really want to talk about, I ain't gonna go down that path, but it's like at some point, man, people got to give Bron his flowers, bro. Like with a team full of young, up and coming stars, they deferring to the oldest player in the league. I like that's absurd to me, and it's like going into year 22, this man still trying to do shit to get people's applause. Like, if you ain't a fan by now, you just ain't a fan, and that's cool. That ain't no problem. But it's like, ain't no way that he should be still trying to solidify his legacy. 40 years old, 22 years into the league, trying to be a veteran for a up and coming USA team trying to win gold. It's like, nah, bro. Like, give that man his damn flowers. That shit's crazy. But anywho, man, I said I was gonna try to keep this between 20 and 30 minutes. It's been a minute since I've been on the mic. Just wanted to throw some content out here because I can't wait to hear what Skip Bayless and Paul Pierce and them say in the morning in regards to today's game. Because it's like, if you still got something negative to say about this man going into year 22, he looks the freshest out there, uh, locked in, when he should be the guy that's almost at a Haslam role for this team. If you ask me, he should be maybe the seventh or eighth off the bench. Come in, get a crowd what they want, because you know wherever he go across the world is gonna draw a crowd. Come in, give him about a good 15, 20 minutes maybe, and call it a day. Just be that voice in the locker room, be that leader. But shit, here, you take the ball here. We don't want no parts of it here. You get us home. Like I said, Steph had the opportunity to hit a three the last game, and he was wide open, bro. I'm like, dog, it's a shorter line on top of that. A part of me feels like that's what's throwing him off, too. It's a shorter line. I think he just out there playing the game he loved for his country. That's fair. But it's like, to me, in my opinion, it shouldn't come down to somebody has to take over the game. It's too much talent for them to still revert back to one-on-one basketball. And I feel like that's the issue with American sports right now too. It's like there's no structure, there's no X's and O's. And I get it. This team just basically came together a couple of weeks ago, so you can't ask too much from them. But it's too much basketball IQ for them not to be able to develop some form of chemistry, just simple pick and rolls, backdoor cuts, and things like that. So I don't know, man, but it's crazy. Legacy locked. Shout out to P, man. I appreciate you saying that, bro. I appreciate you saying that. He's a or was a diehard Laker. Ever since LeBron got out there, he said he ain't messing with him. But hey, I appreciate that. But real quick, it's like there's not a lot of X's and O's anymore in American sports. It's like whoever people think is the most talented kid is give him or her the ball and move out of the way. KD gonna open all that up. I hope so. I hope they just been saving him for the actual games. You know, of course you don't want anybody to jeopardize their health because it's like shit. In my opinion, I don't know why Joel or Kawhi even showed up. It's like, okay, you sent Kawhi home. I feel like Joel should have been sent home too, bro. Like I said, I ain't seen him the last couple of games. I don't know how he looked, but the ones that I did watch, it's like, bro, it just wasn't a good fit. And it's like he's trying to bring that NBA, draw a bunch of fouls and lean into people. Like, bro, they not calling that type of shit. You just got to go dominate. And I think that's what this team lacks thus far. It's like nobody has that mindset to just go out there and dominate. And I'm willing to admit that's what Kobe brought. Like, we ain't here to bullshit. We ain't here to play around. We here to take care of business. Kobe's mindset rubbed off on everybody else. And it's like, to me, in my opinion, and many people can disagree, even though I'm a LeBron guy, I feel like the only reason why he agreed to play on this team was so that he can try to get the credit that Kobe got when, you know what I'm saying, they didn't come home with the gold. So then it's like, boom, they bring in Kobe. Kobe set that mindset. The team went and took care of business. I truly, honestly feel like that's the only reason why LeBron is like, nah, I'm here this time. And if you look at all the social media clips, and it's like he's trying to open up and have these huddles. I'm like, bro, you know all these motherfucking cameras is watching and this and that. Like, man, shut up. Different clips is like, it could be just me. But if you look at KD body language, it's like sometimes KD is like, man, I wish I wouldn't even came here. Dog. Like, why are we force feeding this shit? Even when they named Bron as the person that's supposed to carry out the flag or whatever, and it's like we needed cameras all in the room, and now you look on all the TV shows today, and that's all everybody talking about. It's like, come on, bro. Everybody's too worried about putting together their own documentaries and shit. That's the part that didn't exist in 92, at least to my knowledge. It's like, of course, you know, it was cameras around. They followed Jordan them. I remember, you know what I'm saying, the little clips and things like that, but like not to this magnitude where it's like every individual player got their own camera person. They're feeding into their social medias and things like that. And it's like, now y'all just doing shit for the cameras. Just hoop. That may be part of the reason why some of these games is as close as they've been, because dudes ain't focused on basketball, man. Just go take care of the task at hand and keep it moving. Like, damn all the cameras, and let's get everybody's reaction when we say LeBron is the person that was voted to carry the flags and this and that. I'm like, bro, like, y'all start paying attention, dog. KD's kind of like, man, what is this shit? And I don't blame him. But I again, not to keep repeating myself, I truly feel like LeBron is like, he knows the end is here. So I'm going to try to go out and get as much uh, footage and things like that to make it look like I had that same impact that Kobe did. Fox over Halliburton. I would be perfectly fine with that, bro. Shout out to P again, dog. I forgot about Halliburton. I didn't even name, like, I completely forgot. And I'm like, there ain't no reason why he should be on this team, bro. Like, I get it. In the league, high assist numbers, fast pace, finding people, his shot streaky. So it's like, what strength does he really bring to this team? Because you know defensively, he's not going to lock anybody up. So what purpose does he serve? And it's like, shit, based on the games that I've been watching, it's like, shit, the ball been in Bron hands anyway. So what purpose does a Halliburton serve on this type of team? That's what I'm saying. It's like, shit. I don't think the gold is a lock, bro. Right out the gate, I think they got Joker again. I mean, they won convincingly the other day, but it's like now that everybody knows that this is the real deal, it's like folks is finna lock in. And it's like, shit. France, Wemby and Gobert, they might mess around and dominate AD and them, man. Like, I'm not sleeping on that. And then Canada's loaded. I'm like, nah, bro. Like, whoever's putting these teams together for the United States, bro, y'all just going off of names. You ain't even putting it together based on what makes basketball sense, in my opinion. And I'm a tread lightly with that, and I'm gone after this, because the new thing now with social media, it's like, people, if you don't have the same opinion, it's like, oh, I can tell you don't know ball, you don't know nothing about ball. And I'm like, bro, like, it can't be that serious. I was arguing with a dude on TikTok about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I made a clip about Caitlin Clark, and he's like, yeah, I can tell you a casual, I can tell you don't know nothing about ball. And we going back and forth. He's like, bro, I've been hooping since '95. You can look me up. I'm like, bro, I don't know you. A motherfucking complete stranger wanted to tell me about his hooping days back in '95, and I'm like, it can't be that serious, bro. It can't be. Like, we all got our opinions, and we see shit differently, and I'm willing to respect that. But it's like, whoever putting this shit together, it doesn't make basketball sense to me. It's a couple of players on there. It's like it don't fit, and you left a lot of athletic people off the table, bro. Fox would have been a great pick, man. He definitely would have put a lot of pressure, penetrating and finding people and things like that. It's crazy. But anywho, real quick before I get off here, man, I want to talk about social media real quick, dog. Like, we're at this point where I think social media is doing more harm than good, man. And he said 95p. I'm like, bro, I don't know you, a complete stranger. He's like, you can look me up. I know what I'm talking about. I was like, nah, you wildin'. We was talking about face guarding. That's what the conversation was. I was like, bro, I was like, these teams are face guarding Caitlin Clark, bro. He's like, no, they ain't. He's like, face guarding is when you can only face guard somebody when you full court press. I said, nah, that's not true. I said, face guarding is when the defender is literally in the offensive player's face and he or she doesn't give a damn about where the ball is on the court. Most defensive minded players, you're supposed to see man and ball at all times. You're supposed to be in help position if you're on the weak side of the ball. Be ready to go help. You're supposed to be in help position. Only people that should be up on somebody is if you're on strong side of the ball. So I'm looking at Caitlin Clark on the opposite side of the ball being face guarded. The defender's back is completely to where the ball is. She cannot see what the hell is going on behind her. I'm like, bruh, she's being face guarded. Oh, I can tell you a casual. I can tell you don't know what you're talking about. And I even gave dude the screenshot of the definition, and that wasn't good enough. And that's why I just like, nah, bro. It's like the internet is a wild place right now. But where I was going with that is like everybody wants to be the first to present news or break something to the rest of the world. It don't even matter if the facts are in order. You just want to be the first one to put something out there. And it's like, regardless of whether it's critiquing music, critiquing movies, keep doing your shit, bro. Don't even give the haters a time of day. I honestly, man, the reason why I be on TikTok and stuff so much is because of the interaction. It's like the more I comment, go back and forth with people, the goal I'm in my mind is like I'm gonna direct them to the YouTube channel and things like that. Once more people start seeing, my mindset and how I talk, if you disagree with it, cool. Go to the YouTube page and tell me that you disagree with it. Let's talk about it. So I'm just trying to find different avenues to grow the channel, but it's like you gotta have thick skin for this shit. Cause sometimes, boy, I'll be over fired up, and it's like I really mess with Caitlin Clark, bro. She's entertaining to me. I like watching it. But it's like when I make videos and stuff and people, man, you a coon and you a house NIG. And I'm just like, bruh, off a video of me talking about Caitlin Clark, that's what y'all come up with. So it's like, you got to be ready to take the good and the bad when it comes to the social media stuff. But that's what I'm saying. It's like we're at a point to where I just feel like it's doing more harm than good because so many people have an opinion now, myself included. And it's like the NCAA game. After this, I'm gone. Back in the day, P still on the live. He know for himself. It's like, bruh, the new Madden or the new game would come out, and we'll all just simply stay up and play, go to each other crib and play until you figured it out and you got better at it. Like we didn't have no outlet where we can go online and somebody tell us all the loopholes and shit in the game. So NCAA been out for like a week, and you log on Instagram, TikTok, things like that. What's going on, bro? Shout out to John on the live. Yes, sir. Everything's smooth, man. I hope everything's cool your way too out there in Cali. You log on to Instagram, TikTok, and it's already people online telling people what plays to pick that will glitch the defense. You'll get an automatic touchdown. There's people telling you what defenses to pick, and And I'm just like, bro, like, can we not just enjoy the damn game? Like, everybody now wants to stream and Twitch and all this and that, and it's like, bro, it's just done took the fun out of the shit. I done spent all that money. Niggas spent $150 to buy the game, and after a week, it's like, bro, I don't even want to play it now because now everybody online is doing all these little glitch plays and stuff that you see on the internet. Same way with Call of Duty and stuff like that. It's like everybody's just giving out little cheats and things like that. And it's like, bro, nothing is pleasurable these days. Everybody's trying to find a loophole and a back door to take the easy way out. And it's like, man, what's the point of that, bro? It's like nobody wants to just sit back and enjoy the shit. And it's like social media just done killed off everything, bro. I saw where Big Sean's getting ready to do an album and somebody had already leaked it. So he's trying to put songs and shit out before the album drops so it don't steal away, everybody's gonna get a hold of the album before he got time to even drop it. Plus all the social media seems controlled. I'll be glad when they ban it. Dog, it's getting rough, man. It's brutal out here right now. And that's why I'm like, we're living in a time where we have instant access to everything. Like, if we really wanted to know what was going on all the way across the world, we literally have access to it. Where back in the day, it's like, shit, you may not know what happened till the next day or the next 2 days or something before it was printed up in the newspaper. Like, you couldn't just log in to a website and watch something live in Japan. And it's like, man, at this point, it's doing more harm than good because nothing is off limits at this point. I'm just like, shit, I done spent all this money on this game, and I was having fun playing online for the first few days, and it's like now every time I play somebody, it's like, oh fuck, here they go doing this internet shit. And like I said, as it pertains to music or movies, it's like everybody's leaking movies and previewing movies. It's like, come on, man. We ain't got to be the first to do every damn thing. But anywho, man, I appreciate y'all that tapped into the live. Shout out to Spears on Facebook. Shout out to my guy P, John on IG. Um, the road to 700 still continues, man. Y'all be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Um, I got some stuff in the works. Again, I gave a shout out to Grip at the beginning of the episode. Me and him sat down and chopped it up for a little while yesterday. And then kudos to Charlie. He pulled up on me a couple of weeks ago. Man, we was just sitting down having a heart to heart, some real grown man stuff, just talking about childhood and growing up. And I told him yesterday, I think I want to do a episode just about us reflecting on how we grew up and different things that we seen growing up that most people, I ain't gonna say most people because you still have people that grow up and see things that at a young age you ain't necessarily supposed to see or grow up around. But I was like, for us coming from a small town, bro, it's like shit was just different. And I feel like now that we are grown, all of us finna be 40 this year. We got kids, we got families and things, and it's like now I'm looking at life totally different. And it's like, bruh, as a kid, you don't realize what your parents are going through or sacrificing just to make ends meet and to provide and make sure you got the necessities that you need. Not all of us, just 35. Hey, you halfway there. So you can sit down with us and have this conversation. Shout out to Zuri on the live. But it's like you don't realize what sacrifices your parents and shit had to make until finally you get into situations where now you trying to teach and show your kids different things And that's when that light bulb goes off, and you just like, damn. Now I understand why Mama would say the things that she would say or stuff like that. And it's like we was just sitting down, and all of us from back at home, we really have a story that I feel like we can share and get out there to the rest of the world in terms of some of the shit that we saw growing up and how it shaped us. Because I feel like it was a blessing to grow up in a small town because I experienced and seen some shit that I feel like these kids here in these major cities, they have no idea. Music may tell you what it is or movies may demonstrate it, but a lot of these people in these bigger cities, they didn't they didn't experience that. At least based on what I've seen thus far with different people that I interact with. And I'm just like, I have get togethers and things like that, and people laugh because I'm from a small town and shit like that. But it's like, bro, it taught me so many valuable lessons that I use still to this day. Even in terms of just learning how to budget and manage money. It's like, bro, I watched my mama nickel and dime shit. My mother never made over $10. And it's like she made shit work. So fast forward, it's like I know how to sit here and budget and make shit happen so that I can pay bills, enjoy life, do the things that needs to be done. And some people don't even have the slightest idea of what it takes. And I'm like, that shows you that you didn't grow up in certain situations where you got to decide, do I pay this bill this week and wait, or do I pay half on this one and pay half on that one and then tell them that I'm gonna pay the rest late? Like shit like that. Some people don't even have a clue of what it takes. And then it's just like, without disclosing family personal business and things like that, bro, like we sat down and we talked about a lot of childhood trauma. And that's something that I feel like is needed and necessary because as men, bro, it's like sometimes we do need that outlet. And it may not necessarily come from your spouse or significant other or whatever. Sometimes it's like, bro, we just need to just sit down and just chop it up amongst each other because he may have an experience that I don't have, but just listening to how he maneuvered and done things, it may help me later on in life and vice versa. And I really enjoyed sitting down chopping it up with him yesterday and chopping it up with Charlie when he got here. So I told him, I was like, bro, like, I want to do an episode where we just sit down and just talk about shit from how we grew up to us now with our own kids and trying to make sure that we give our kids examples of shit that we didn't have growing up and trying to figure out and adjust and learn from what our parents done to the best of their abilities and what we would do differently now that we have the opportunity to teach our kids. This is why I'm so open with my kids, and it's definitely a blessing to grow up in a small town. I swear, like I'm being serious, and it's like right now I got some personal shit going on in my life, and it's like I hope people don't think that I'm turning my back on where I came from or I got anything personal built up with people because I don't. I truly don't. For whatever reason, you know what I'm saying? Lines of communication it's just been broken. Um, Maybe one day down the road it will get fixed or whatnot. But it's like I ain't gonna never forget where I came from, bro, because it's taught me so many valuable things, and I'm like I still have heart to hearts with my kids now in terms of just learning how to appreciate things. It's like, okay, if we buy you some new shoes and shit, that don't mean just go out and mess them up and this and that. And once they dirty, you just expect me to go buy a new pair. I'm like, we didn't have that luxury. I was like, I don't give a damn how many pair of shoes and things I got in this house. Don't see what I got and think that because I got it, you supposed to have it. I was like, shit, my son T in now, so I got him out here working. Shout out to my brothers. They've been having him help them cut grass and shit. And I'm like, I'm completely cool with that. But guess what? My pops had me out there mowing. So it's like I know what it takes. I know what it is now. I got my own house and stuff that I got to maintain and keep. So it's like, cool. That's knowledge that I had from when I was a teenager mowing. So now my son is 10. So guess what? You're going to get your ass out here. But I definitely want to chop it up with them because it's a lot of things that we sat down and talked about. Stuff that even I didn't know. And we was all right there growing up. And I was like, again, I'm not using this mic or this platform to air out dirty laundry or things like that. So of course we ain't gonna spill too many details and things like that. But it's like we was all kids and we really didn't understand our living conditions and shit until we got older. And now that I look back and I'm like, damn, man, mama raised us and we lived here. I lived here all my life, bro, under these circumstances, and she made all this happen, and I'm going to school with the Jordans and clothes and this and that, and people just assumed that we had money because I had PlayStations and shit like that, but I was like, that's far from the truth. And those who know me, they know the truth. So that's why I'm just like, nah, bro, like, maybe if I turn this podcast into an outlet just for us to just sit back and chill and just have real conversation. That'll be, something for us to do that's different to get away from sports and shit now that, you know what I'm saying, basketball is over, waiting for football and shit to start. So, y'all know the routine, bro. Hit that like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Shout out to those that has copped a t-shirt, got the IRD logo, got the shorts going. Definitely appreciate that, man. So anyway, man, we out.
Ass toasted, no competition. Amisha coasting. I feel so high, I feel so live. My body's intertwined. Amisha coasting. I feel so live, and I know why. That I can't deny. Amisha coasting. Goody, fine wine, fools, malt liquor. Wish me I'm high class.